Del Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Hitting it cranking on a Thursday. XL Primetime into the noon slot. We appreciate that because we've got Jaguars programming coming up a little bit later on today. So missing out helmets and heels. But XL Primetime, happy to be here on a Thursday. The French show will come up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And then into Jaguars programming, including the Doug Peterson show. And as we were just talking with Jaguars today, Doug's been getting a little salty lately. There's no question about that. The Jaguars season not going anywhere near where he would like it to be or where all of Duval would like it to be. And now they're going on the road as a 13-plus point dog to the Detroit Lions. So as we get it going, you've got NFL football tonight. You've got a lot of college football to look forward to on Saturday. This is another Saturday in November where we might see one of the bigs go down. And there's only so many unbeaten teams left in the college football world because Miami went down last week as an unbeaten team. Now you got Oregon at the top, but you've got a lot of other ones that have had to lick their wounds trying to figure out what they're going to do to make sure they stay in the college football playoff picture. So we're going to throw it out there today in the noon hour. Who's the next team that will, and it's not even fall from the ranks of the unbeaten because all these teams, or a lot of these teams have suffered losses, but which one of them will hurt their CFP chances with an L in November? So let's get into it. I always like to do it on a Thursday. A Corona call just to kind of get our weekend feel going on a Thursday. There's JJ's. He is in with us today. One more time, JJ, because it's still just so authentic. Yeah, so authentic on a Thursday.
That's the LeBron of Modelo Yells right there.
Yeah. The
inside joke is we've been arguing about LeBron and Jordan.
Yeah, it's almost an old tired argument. It really is. And
it's still awesome. I love it.
Well, yeah, because you can always engage.
Fortunately, the our station manager's not here. He'd be screaming at us because we were like, it got loud.
Yeah, it's easy to engage because it's a generational thing. Honestly, it's MJ versus LeBron based on age more than anything else. But also, there's a lack of appreciation for what is going on in the association in today's world versus then, because everyone it's so funny. Everything, Leon, is so much better in our world today. Yet whenever we start talking about either sports or music, it was better in their era.
Yeah, just the analytical era, I guess JJ called our guys back in the day plumbers. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot of plumbers and people.
Garbage men.
Garbage men in our era, which is ridiculous.
You will not take a shot at Roland Reach plumbers like that, okay? You will not.
No, I don't, but I just think most guys who work there probably aren't also playing against Michael Jordan in the league.
Yeah. Oh, look, I said it's worldwide. It's deeper. There is so much talent on the floor now. Rules obviously are different. It's just the way it is.
Well, you can play zone defense now.
Well, the reason I brought it up was
which means you can just lollygag around on the defensive end.
There's a crazy stat.
No, they don't.
There's a crazy stat that came out after last night's game where LeBron has 33 triple doubles after the age of 35, and in his entire career, MJ only had 30 triple doubles.
Yeah, and so look, it's an argument that will never end. But it's just a good sports bar. I'll have another one, and I got this point to make kind of conversation.
Let me hear that LeBron Modelo Yellow again, JJ. One more time.
And the other part that I love about Matt is that he can't quite.
I can't get by it. No,
not even that. You're not listening to me half the time.
I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying.
No,
I don't want any of that stuff. I don't want any of the, there's another way, too, you got to listen to. I don't want to hear that. No. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, you actually have to listen to this.
Not with LeBron and Mike, I don't. No. Look at his face.
I'm pretty sure that I can't even say the next sentence. Because
all right, please, go.
It started out as a Corona call, and he makes it a Modelo Yellow. Okay,
right,
that's the only thing I'm saying.
I'm messing up with your sponsors. My bad.
That's and by the way, they're all the same family.
Sorry, Maddie.
That's the one that just cracks me up. That's the only one. None of that other stuff.
Maddie's driving around going, what are you doing?
What is going on? And he loves being called the Modelo Man more than the Corona Cat anyway, but it's just so funny. It's that I don't care about any of that other stuff. LeBron versus Michael, I don't care about any of that. It's just like as soon as I say it, he immediately gravitates to Modelo because he's a Modelo man. So I totally get it, but it makes me laugh. All right, so who's the next big to go down? Because that's what happened with Miami. And look, Leon, you were a big. Okay, it's been in a softer conference and a crap conference, as I used to always call the ACC. Now it's any coast conference, and you don't have enough big opponents left on your schedule to maybe rally. You're not out of this thing by any stretch of the imagination. But who might be the next one that's vulnerable?
But before I say that, let me clear up some things because it was a clear overreaction for me yesterday what I saw on social media. So I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention. I saw Cam Ward with the offensive line out celebrating. All right. Yeah. And he gave all the offensive linemen these chains they had custom made, and I went on the page and said, "What are we celebrating? We're 9-1."
Frosty.
It got me a little frosty. You know, that's that.
To be fair, were they celebrating?
They were out
so you can't go out to dinner if you lose.
Exactly.
I love Leon so much.
I don't need to see that.
When men were men.
Exactly. I don't need to see that.
You lose to Georgia Tech again.
Again. You've lost to Georgia Tech. You've only beaten 1 out of 4 tries. And you lose the game. You give them the offensive line necklaces when with the crucial moment of the game, 2 minutes left to go, you give up 2 sacks, and 1 sack was the game-ending sack. So I just had a problem with it, so I want to get out the window. So the team that I think that's most in trouble, I think Georgia. Georgia's in trouble.
Georgia could be out.
They're on the ropes right now, bro. I mean, Kirby Smart does an outstanding job, and after a loss, coming back and winning, and they're going to be at home in Athens against Tennessee, but Georgia's a team on the ropes. I mean,
I can't do it. I can't pick Tennessee this week. I can't.
Well, all right. So let's at least update the listeners with this part of it, because you are right that they could be punched out and knocked out. But if there is no Nico, which is what they're saying right now, he is not going to be available for this game, then that changes everything. From Tennessee's point of view, Matt, from Tennessee's point of view, not having Nico, especially in this ball game, we're all of a sudden acting like he's replaceable. He's made his share of maybe poor throws or mistakes, but he's also the best. Is he the best they got?
He's much better than Gaston Moore, obviously. I mean, they like Gaston Moore. Hypa likes him, but I think it's a different type of player. Nico can stress the defense a little more with his arm ability, with his arm talent, than Gaston Moore. Now, look. I mean, Gaston may start hitting those deep throws. Yeah, the ones that Nico hasn't hit, the ones that have been kept that have kept that offense from fully developing. Yeah. What if he starts hitting those throws? That I get, but there's a reason. I got to believe this. There's a reason why. Yes, of course there is. Yeah, there's a reason why they practice, because they say, hey, this guy's better than that guy, and we're going to keep putting him out there as opposed to sitting him down. Other teams have sat guys down. He is the best of the bunch, but just the fact he's not going to have him as big. A fifth-year senior, guy's been in the program, knows the system. Right. He's doesn't have arm talent. Like he's certainly not like Nico's arm talent, but he's also a guy that I think is not going to make a big mistake. Are you suggesting he's a Stetson Bennett? Hang on. Tennessee? Hang on. I'm saying I don't think he's going to make a mistake. He hasn't faced the boogeyman on the road yet either, which is going to be a giant obstacle. Yeah. Well, I think even if Nico was playing, I would find it very hard to pick against Georgia in this game. Well, let me ask you a question. You like Tennessee's defense, right? Love it. Okay, if they can manufacture the kind of pressure that Ole Miss did against Georgia, 100%, yes, and force Carson Beck to those turnovers, yes, 100%. Okay, so I mean, then that's the equalizer. Are we looking at a 3-0 game? You're still the boogeyman at home. You're still the boogeyman at home. Okay, all right, my bad. I believe Dylan Sampson's going to be able to run the ball on this team. I believe that Tennessee's proven that they have a good defense and they have a good run game, not just that pass game. I think it's also been proven that. And here's the scary part. You can run on Georgia. Florida ran on Georgia. Yeah. Florida ran whenever they wanted on Georgia. So Tennessee, which runs the ball better than anybody in the league, certainly you would think can run the ball. But again, this is maybe it's all of us with PTSD with the Dogs. Like we know it's coming. Well, true. We know that game's coming, man. True. We all do. We've all seen it ugly against Ole Miss. We saw it ugly against Alabama for half. We all know it's coming. It's there. But here's a number that kind of shocked me just a little bit. And you guys jump in. 641-1010. We love talking college ball. The flex is coming, Joe. Yeah. Well, you want to believe it, but there's enough evidence against it right now. Kentucky, Florida game. I know there is. Believe me, I agree with all you guys with that. All I'm saying is the flex is coming.
You know
what's scary?
That's my question.
Right.
Who is flexing?
I'll tell you what's really. It's the Texas game is what really is in my head right now.
Yeah, Beck ain't flexing.
I understand that.
That run game ain't flexing.
He didn't play well against Texas, and they were up 23-0 at half.
True.
And Texas had 60 yards at home and a half.
All right, 641-1010. You guys agree or disagree? This is one of the bigger ball games. This is Georgia and Tennessee, and you might even say one has 2 losses, the other has 1 loss. Either one of them could be punched out and knocked out with an L, meaning Tennessee would have 2 losses, maybe out.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying
they have
maybe.
a chance, but more than likely it would be.
And by the way, we talked yesterday. A 3-loss SEC team still has a path, and we'll lay some of that out coming up here in just a bit. But just let us know what you think. And it may not be this game, but this is a very, very big ball game.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't unsee what I saw. I saw Ole Miss team, granted at home, a body bag them.
Yeah, they did.
For 4 straight quarters.
Yeah.
So that's got to be in Georgia's head as well. It's got to be.
You know what else I can't unsee?
What's that?
What played out in Austin?
Yeah, Austin was so
This
long
is more
ago.
recent. This is more recent.
I can tell you what I saw last week. I saw Ole Miss team that's just body shot here.
Yeah, it was
KO.
not pretty.
It was not pretty.
I mean, honestly, and I've said this before, if Lagway's healthy, I think Florida beats them.
Mm-hmm.
If Lagway doesn't go out, I think they beat Georgia.
So these are the numbers that got me. I'm just kind of looking around, trying to figure out who's who and what's what and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, Bulldog fan gets on our case all the time. They think we're out to get Curb and all this kind of stuff. Look, it's just the way it is. We're looking, we're watching,
Although they've been very quiet lately,
we're
Joe.
consuming it just like everybody else. And they were up 7-0 and then lost 28-10. Got outscored 28-3 the rest of the way. So these numbers kind of got me. Georgia has had 2+ turnovers in 5 of their last 6 games. That ain't Georgia. That's not Georgia. Here's the other part of it. On 3rd down, converting. Take a look at their numbers outside the top 80. Take a look at their numbers on defense, stopping 3rd down, outside the top 90. Tennessee way up there on both sides in the stat category. Look, the son-in-law trying to move up in power rankings, trying to convince me that Tennessee is better than Georgia and that they might get them this week. But we do have a memory of the last time Tennessee went in to Georgia and tried to beat them, and they did get.
That was with Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Hendon Hooker was playing as good a Heisman-worthy ball at that point.
But to be fair, let's also be fair. Let's let everybody know this now, okay? You have to let everyone know this while they're listening, that you're a giant Vols fan right now, not because you're your son-in-law, but because you hate Georgia.
Yeah. No, I don't hate Georgia. Let's be clear. I have something. I have an affinity for all of them.
That
one way or
orange and blue
another.
blood in you. You can't get over it, man.
This is another thing. And I look at it. Matt makes the mistake of thinking that I'm one of the others in this building. I'm not. Okay. I am no Hicken, no Prosser, no Frangie, no Hacker. Okay. I am
there is that many. 1, 2. Yeah. You're right.
There's a bunch. Look, it took me forever to get through school, and I love the University of Florida, but I am objective.
You're realistic.
Where does Tennessee rank with Georgia on like the Gator hate list?
I would think
Georgia's above Tennessee.
Way above.
Yeah. Georgia's way up there. And again, if you're just looking at who would you rather?
But isn't it the context of everything? Like if Tennessee was like
it is
0-10,
it is.
Or 10-0, and then Georgia was 0-10. Even though you hate Georgia more, you'd rather them win that
Although
game.
when Spurrier was,
so like you'd rather
Georgia,
Tennessee win this game to knock Georgia out, right?
still-
Where
still
you
hate
are. Yeah.
Still hate Georgia.
And by the way, Florida ain't got no room to be saying I'd rather lose to them versus them right now because they're losing to all
Well,
of them.
this is what you do when you're down as a fan.
Yeah,
You
that's
just
true.
cheer against the people you hate.
You do.
I did that for 20
Your
years.
misery is projected on others.
But it is always going to be in context. What's on the line? How much pain can you either inflict or bring about for the other side? That's what you're thinking more than anything else. All right. So college football, we will definitely do that. We're going to get back to the Jags. There's also a comment that Dion made that's definitely interesting that we will get into because right now, who's at the top of the NFL draft board? Who's at the top?
Shador.
Yeah. And who's
which
at the top
team?
picking?
We are.
Yeah. So let's get into this coming up here in just a second. We will definitely do it. It is XL Primetime, hanging out with you, noon to 2 today. Frangie and company coming up then, and then Jaguars programming at 4.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Sideline to sideline.
That's a bad boy.
Goal line to goal line.
On best, here we go.
The best defense is a superior fence. Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjax.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lauren Brooks from Helmets and Heels. If your car needs an oil change, now's the perfect time to visit Big Chief Tire. They're offering $10 off your next oil change at any of their 5 locations across Jacksonville. Their expert technicians will get you in and out quickly so your car stays in top shape. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Discover luxury storage life at The Shed, opening soon in Atlanta Beach, for a place to store your cars, boats, and toys. A place for an office, a golf simulator, or a man cave. AC and plumbing available. The list of premium uses is endless. Take a tour on Instagram or go to theshedjacks.com.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with great sports for kids 3 to 17, and winter and spring registration is open right now. New girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter, plus plenty for boys and girls in Nocatee, too. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Southampton invites you to enjoy a round of golf and then a round with your buds, thanks to their game day special. Every Saturday and Sunday during the season, order up 10 wings and a cold pitcher for just $22. Plus, being a member at Southampton has its privileges, like a $500 gift card when you join with a paid initiation fee. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Twilight golf every day with special rates after 3 o'clock. Don't forget trivia Thursday nights and music on the patio Friday night. All at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Hanging out on a Thursday, XL Primetime up in the noon slot with the Francis Show coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Joe C., Matty Hayes. You can check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. Big Leon Searcy and JJ hanging out with us today. We are definitely going to talk ball. That's what we do. We talk football. This is the time to do it, but I can't help it with the round ball that we brought up at the beginning of the show. And even racing was brought up on the text line based on the start of our show. They said, who can't forget when Kyle Petty drove the Modelo yellow car? Yes, that's true. That's a very good one back in the day. But this one from Hoop World with the LeBron versus Michael argument. I'm the perfect age, says the texter, to have been old enough to appreciate Jordan, but not be, quote, get off my lawn with MJ. Magic fan as well. Key difference between MJ and LeBron for me, when the Magic beat the Bulls in the 95 playoffs, it was like, WTF, that ain't supposed to happen. When Orlando beat Cleveland and LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals 2009, it was an upset, but didn't seem out of the norm for a LeBron team. And it's so funny because that will always be the argument.
That was 15 years ago.
Yeah, but the argument will always be one guy had the greatest skill set, the other guy was just an absolute dog. That's just always one layer of the argument.
No, listen, LeBron doesn't have a Be Like Mike commercial, does he? No one says Be Like LeBron, does he? Be like Mike.
See, I think that's that's the propaganda that got all you old guys is like the McDonald's and the Gatorade and the Nike, and you're just like, oh my God, I watch one game a year, and it's Michael Jordan in the finals. He must be the greatest of all time.
That's exactly what
Meanwhile, we actually get to watch every single game of LeBron's career.
Please
and
find
the guy's talking about one of the greatest teams.
You just called Larry Bird a plumber.
I didn't call Larry Bird a plumber. I said they played against some plumbers. All right. But here, let me just finish this. The guy's comparing one of the greatest teams of all time in those mid-90s Bulls teams and the 2009 Cavs. Of course it's a bigger upset, dude. LeBron had to drag those sorry-ass teams to the finals.
Jordan did?
Totally different.
Like,
no,
what the hell?
If Jordan doesn't play for the Bulls, the Bulls win 41 games. Are you crazy?
He didn't play for the Bulls one year. They went to the playoffs. They went to like the Eastern Conference Finals and lost, dude. What are you talking about? That happened.
It did. Once again, proof we will never end it. So I can't believe I even read it, but I had to. Wanted to. All right. So
Facts don't care about your feelings, man.
Right. How many times has Miami gone to the finals without LeBron?
Yeah.
How many times? How many times have they won the finals
Since
without LeBron?
he left, I think
How many times have they won
maybe?
the finals, actually?
Well, before he got there, they had won the finals.
Well, they won after, too.
Yeah. With Shaq.
They haven't won after he left.
Not after.
No. They didn't win after he left?
See, that's why am I even arguing NBA with you?
No, they just got two. They just got the two. You're right.
Yeah. They went to the finals and then got beat. All right.
That Chicago team was nothing without
Just
Jordan,
don't do
okay?
it. Don't do it.
Whatever. It's not even worth it.
So
man. He called Larry Bird a plumber,
Dion.
Yeah. I brought up that
you started it, man.
I know. That's what I said. It's my fault. I'm the one who did it. All right. I brought up that Dion was asked, okay, he's on FS1 with Keyshawn Johnson, and he's asked the question about what happens if Shedeur Sanders, and it's worth pointing out that Dion Sanders, in a short amount of time, has put together a football team that easily could have the top 2 players in the NFL draft coming out of Colorado Buff uniforms into NFL uniforms. That's saying something about Dion. You got to give him 100% praise and hype for that, because Travis Hunter could be the number 1 overall pick. Shedeur Sanders could be second. Anyway, the question was asked, with Jacksonville actually being at the top of the NFL draft board right now, would Dion intervene if Shedeur was going somewhere where he didn't think he would be in a very good spot? In other words, basically Arch with Eli Manning, basically saying, hey, you ain't going to go play out there. You can go play in New York. So top 5 draft slots right now, Leon?
Well, top 5 draft spots right now. Jags said the top. Number 2 is the Giants. Number 3 is the Titans. Number 4 is Cleveland. And number 5 is the Raiders.
Okay, so
that's over 5 right there as far as good programs for good franchises for him to go.
And so this is why he's chiming in. But 2, 4, and 5 are all potential quarterback spots, landing spots for Shedeur, right? Even though we don't have the Deshaun Watson thing figured out yet. It's going to cost him an arm and a leg to say goodbye, but they're still on the hook for that. But still, they're in a need position for quarterback.
I'm looking at CBS Sports right now, and they've got Shedeur Sanders going to the Browns. They got Cam Ward going to the Giants at 2.
Okay, all right.
So you guys think Deshaun, it's over there? You think they're drafting a quarterback?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to have to dump that contract.
Yeah, they're going to have to just eat it.
They're going to eat it.
Yeah, and I don't know how much they owe now, but it is
$200 million.
It's still just a god.
Do you want to know who they got the Jags taking number 1 overall? It's such a Jag pick, too.
It ain't Travis?
It is Travis Hunter.
Okay. I love Travis.
Yeah, we need that, really.
I know. We need a lineman. But, all right. So, anyway, listen to what Dion has to say as he's talking with Keyshawn.
Somebody that can handle the quarterback that he is. Somebody that can handle understanding that what he's capable of. Someone that has had success in the past handling quarterbacks, or someone in an organization understands what they're doing. Not just throwing you out there amongst the wolves if you don't have the support in the infrastructure of the team. Forget the line. He's played with lines that hadn't been great, but he's been able to do his thing. But just the infrastructure of the team and the direction of where we're going. This kid loves this game, and he has an insatiable appetite to win. And I want somebody to be able to propel him to the next level as well. Not just getting drafted by a team, because we ain't having it.
The blatant disrespect for the offensive line. Forget the line. I'm going to remember that when you get in the league now. Forget the line. You heard him, right? Okay.
And by the way, Caleb Williams is experiencing some of that right now.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that he said he wouldn't intervene out in public, but he would do it behind the scenes, basically. And look, I think it's something else that Dion has put that quality of a player out there right now in the short amount of time he's been a head coach in the college ranks. That is
I love Dion. I do. I think he's great for the game. I think his carnival barker in him, I think, is awesome. But you got to know when and where, man. He's in the middle of a race right now. He wins 3 games. They're in the Big 12 championship game, which means then they're 1 game away from being in the playoff after being one of the worst teams in the nation last year.
Yeah, it's a great story.
He's got to, he's got to tighten up a little bit, man. He can't be talking about this crap.
What's wrong with talking about this?
Because I think he should be focusing on his team right now.
He was Q&A.
Preparing his team. I know he was.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. The correct response probably should have been, look, all we care about right now is winning games. We got a chance to get to the playoff.
Dion's a salesman.
I know he is. I understand. I think that, and like I said, I love the carnival barker in him.
Yeah.
But, man, he's close right now, and I just don't. I wouldn't do anything to kind of run that thing off the track.
He's also a daddy, bro.
I know he is, and I understand all that, too. But at some point, you got to be a coach.
Yeah, at some point, you got to distract that your son is not the most important thing right now. The team going to the playoffs and winning.
Like, what does his team think about that?
Yeah, well,
they probably love it.
They're in the middle of a race, and he's talking about his son going to the NFL.
They probably love it.
Hasn't he been doing that the whole time, though?
They probably
Mr. Consistent that way. Yeah, he is. Look,
like, I've always thought this whole college coaching thing was strictly about his son.
Dion,
like, he wanted to coach him.
By the way, when it's all said and done, Dion may be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys the same time Shedeur is taken by the New York Football Giants. They may be together again, only it will be in the NFC East, going head-to-head with one another. That ain't impossible. That ain't impossible right now.
Maybe it's just, Dion is – he's like chucking from beyond the arc like LeBron, and I'm just trying to be Jordan. Just do your job, man. Do the right thing. And
do you think he sticks around after his kid leaves?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's highly possible.
Do you really?
Really possible.
Not even for like 1 year at Colorado after Shedeur.
Just imagine the meteoric rise if it were to happen. Because Mike McCarthy is dead man walking.
Done.
A lot like what's going on here in Duval.
Oh, if you mean if the Cowboys offer him, you mean? He definitely goes. But I don't think if the Cowboys don't. I think if it's like,
well, it's just a
he's
fun
not going to
question.
another college, I guess is my point.
Well, it's just a fun question. Is Dion could potentially go from Jackson State to a Power 5, now Power 4
to the Cowboys.
Yeah. It's not impossible.
I can see that.
And crazier things have happened and have been successful. Jimmy Johnson is still one of the guys, the standards that went from college to pro, jumped and immediately set up success and won championships.
Here's the thing. Dion is a lot more like Nick Saban than you think.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot more like, and I hate to say this, but a lot more like Herb than you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's my way. We're doing it my way. He's that one of those guys.
Well, he ran.
Is that gonna work? Even though he's been in an NFL locker room, he's a Hall of Famer in the NFL. He's like one of those guys that doesn't put up with crap.
He potentially, let's just take what Dallas has had talent-wise and how they've failed miserably, it looks like right now. Dion's one of those guys that can talk that talk when he walks into an NFL locker room.
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. That's
But you know him. He's like, will he get frustrated, I guess is my point, Leon. If he goes into one of those locker rooms and he tries to put his thumb on things and it doesn't work.
First of all, he's not sleight of tongue. Let me just go and say that, right? So he's going to call a spade a spade. If you ain't getting it done, he's going to tell it. He's going to tell it like it is. And I think because he's prime, he's going to be respected. And then if he comes, he's going to bring other NFL guys that are on his roster into that locker room who are well respected, like Sapp and all those other guys. So, I don't, we'll see. It's just,
by the way,
it's different talking to 17, 18, 19-years and then just talking to multimillionaires.
Yeah, very true. But you also have to give Warren Sapp credit because he's leaned in and done a pretty good job on the defensive side of the ball. All right, it's XL Primetime. Get back to the Jags, get back to the college football conversation right here on a beautiful Thursday.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both? With everyday deals at Sonny's. Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Greetings from Daytona, where a band of dreamers took a strip of beach and turned it into a proving ground. The Great American Race, where year after year, greatness is the destination.
Drivers, start your engines, let's go!
So book your experience and soak in 500 miles of history and tradition. The Daytona 500, February 16th, 2025. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing and winning with Prize Picks, and you should too. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your dough roll in. Think Pat Mahomes will throw for more or less than 245.5 yards? It's just that simple. And now you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all their withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here is the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
Cigar smokers, Cigars International Superstore is now open at the Town Center, a massive 6,200 square foot space with over 600 cigar brands, a full-service bar, indoor and outdoor lounges with flat-screen TVs. Grand opening event this Saturday with live music, raffles, and specials. Enjoy $5 off a $25 purchase or more. Just mention code RadioXL at checkout. Don't miss the new Cigars International Superstore grand opening at the Town Center this Saturday.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 14th, 1964, NHL hockey legend Gordie Howe sets NHL record, becoming the all-time leading goal scorer with his 627th career goal.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Meet Abiana talking about her experience with BioTarget regenerative therapy at injury care centers.
I started doing the BioTarget therapy for plantar fasciitis, and I noticed an improvement immediately. It was almost impossible for me to put my feet down to take a proper step. After the first treatment, I was able to actually walk and do so without limping. I kind of felt like because they were offering a money-back guarantee, it made me feel like they're sure the treatment would definitely work. I would definitely recommend this treatment to anybody that I know because it works.
Stop masking your pain with harmful medications. There's a better solution. BioTarget regenerative therapy has helped countless others, and it can help you too. Call 904-92-REGEN or visit GoBioTarget.com today.
Facing a DUI charge or even a boating under the influence charge? Well, I'm your man, DUI lawyer Malcolm Anthony at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW. Once again, 285-4LAW.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS. IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars quarterback Mac Jones on what he learned from his first start last Sunday against the Vikings.
Yeah, I thought we played with good tempo in and out of the huddle. There's a lot of things to work on throughout the game, but it boils down to finishing better by me. I thought I left 3 plays out there, and if you change those 3 plays, then maybe the outcome's a little different. So that's how I'm looking at it. That's the truth, and I'm going to learn from it and move on. And been here before, which is tough, but you also have one choice, and that's to get up and keep going. So that's what I'm going to do, lead the team and show confidence, not only in them, but also in myself.
Mac Jones will draw his second straight start Sunday at Detroit. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So, this is crazy. This is a little bit. This is Tramel Jones from right here in Duval, who just happened to be in the studio a couple days ago, affirming his commitment to Florida State. And this came out a little bit earlier today that he has decommitted from FSU and now will be back out there And there's plenty of chatter about who might be trying to lure him into their recruiting class. But Mandarin's Tramel Jones.
Quarterback.
Quarterback who had been an FSU commit for about a year. And basically, well, go ahead and play the sound, JJ, just as far as what Tramel had to say the other day.
On the Fringe
State,
Show.
I think that really just stood out to me. The Coach Norvell, Coach Tokars, the quarterback coach, and the head coach. I mean, I just had a relationship with them really ever since the beginning. And, I mean, I committed to them probably was like 2 years ago, year and a half ago. Committed them fairly early, and the communication and the relationship has gotten greater ever since because he showed us our vision. And he was there before. He's got to where what he's talked about. He was 13-0. So he's got to where he wanted to go. And this is just a stump in the road for him. And I think that the comeback is going to be even greater.
Now, the one thing
he didn't say he would be there for the comeback.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing that is interesting is that he was a guest on the French Show with the Duval Scholar Athlete of the Week, which they do every single week. And this was after Norvell had canned a couple offensive coaches, offensive coordinator, and wide receivers coach, along with their defensive coordinator.
He had to change your heart. That's the only answer I can say. He had to sit down with the family. They had to talk and say, baby, you might want to go somewhere else.
Well, I think,
are you now recruiting him? Is that what you're doing right now?
I'm here in Florida. I'm seeing a lot of Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So Steve Wilfong, who's the recruiting expert over at On 3, Ozzie tells us this, that he wrote a story last week saying he thinks he thought back then Tramel would decommit and then commit to Florida.
Yeah, a week ago. So
now, look. Here's the thing. I don't mind. I don't mind this. If he's decommitting to get more money, who cares, man? That's the game now. You got to let them play this game now. It's what it is. And I don't think there's anything that anyone can do about it. But
what if it's not money? What if they're just 1-9?
It could be.
And they look
that was my next point. My next point was, at some point, if you're him, you're also looking at what's going on this year. And I wrote this today in USA Today. Here's Florida State's problem with Mike Norvell right now. They can't afford to fire him, and they can't afford to keep him.
Well, and the other part of it, which I've explained, just as far as the Golden Chiefs are concerned, the big money boosters, is that not only did they have to pony up that cash to keep Norvell when Jimmy Sexton, his agent, did a masterful job saying Alabama is interested, and that's also been debated out there among the circles. But the other part of it was extended contracts for assistants. You're going to pay all those. And it's the same thing when you go to the Billy tab that is sitting there on Scott Strickland's
I've got the number for the 3 coaches he just fired.
Yeah.
$8.5 million.
Yeah. So
that's for a university that, again, is trying to scrape up money to, who knows, get out of the ACC, and I don't know where they're going to go, but trying to scrape up money for that.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, it's a mess.
Are they still paying Jimbo and the other guy?
No, they're not paying
Willie.
Jimbo. They might still be paying. No, I don't know if they're paying Willie or not.
They forwarded that invoice. Please pay Jimbo to Texas A&M because the Aggies are still paying him for a while, which is just unbelievable.
You know what's funny is they're 1-9, and he's really not getting that much heat for it. If you think about it, and he's earned a lot of capital from obviously 19 straight wins.
Sure,
but if the Florida coach is 1-9 right now. And like everybody thinks we get on him now, oh my God! Because at some point you might be 1-9, but you gotta right. You gotta figure out how to win a game, man.
Yeah.
You can't be 1-9. They've got players in that team. They may not have a quarterback, which they clearly don't. But you've got other players in that team. You've got to figure out how to manufacture wins.
Yeah.
And he hasn't.
Yeah.
And I'm a little surprised, too, on social media. I don't hear the outcry from the former players at Florida State. They're just kind of going along with it. There's no outrage. I tell you what, Mario was 1-9 right now.
Oh, my gosh.
He would have to block me on his phone. He would block me. He would block me.
Line mate.
Yes.
I don't want to hear from you.
Yes.
But had he won 19 straight, then won 1-9, would you still be upset?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's weird to me. I don't think like there's as much. And maybe we're in a bubble here in Jacksonville, but I don't think there's as much grief out there for him.
Well, it's funny because they're trying you try and put a face on it because you want to stay positive because you know that any of the anti-stuff is going to hurt recruiting. And what looked like was a great portal plan that was working, it just hasn't carried over because they had 2 years, really 2, maybe even 3 years of success in the portal.
Right, he hit 2 years, and then it just absolutely bottom fell out this year.
Joe, when Al Golden was playing Clemson, and we were losing 58-7, and the former players got online he was on the plane to go home by the time that game was over. We was on them so hard.
Yeah.
No, I
That's
think,
the power of
I
social
think they
media.
fired him. It was a
They
home
fired
game.
him.
I was
Yes,
there.
yes, I
left
was
in the
there
third
too.
Quarter.
Yes.
By the way, give me another real quick, another of that, JJ.
Oh, this is scary.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
To further depress Florida State fans, DJ Uyunglele is asking for a medical redshirt season from the NCAA.
Oh, thank you.
And intends to come back and play at Florida State.
He's got probably has some paper that says 2-year contract.
I love it.
You can be the starter and make X. That did not work.
My day just got better.
Yeah, your day that did not work. DJU. By the way, Brock Glenn hasn't worked either. That's another one that we've been talking about and debating quite a bit. All right, this is not a debate with our XL Primetime listeners on the text line at XL Primetime. Dear Sean, push the button, please. Full reset. Buy Trent. Buy Doug. Buy Trevor. Wow. Draft Shador and hire Prime. So yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. But I am all about push the button, hit the reset, clean house. You ain't getting rid of your quarterback, and you need to go find the right coach for him, and you need to go find the right GM to start constructing this roster properly once again.
No, we recycle every 3 years. Every 3 years, we just recycle. I mean, when are we going to show when we'll have some stability? No, I'm just saying.
Keep and go.
No, what I'm saying is find somebody that's going to be the GM and the head coach is going to be stable for the next half a decade or so, and we win.
Yeah,
I've never understood that thought process.
What's that?
Just the idea of if you give a guy a little time, it'll work. It's to me, this is just my opinion. In both college and the NFL, it's a different time now. Years ago, you could have done that. But now, it's so transactional now. Players, both in the NFL, but more so in college football, players don't care, man. They're not sitting and waiting to play. So you've got to get a guy that's charismatic enough to keep them and to get others from other rosters. And if that guy hasn't shown it in a year or two, or now 3 in Billy Napier's instance, You're going to try another year? You're going to bang your head against the wall another year because you hope it's going to change? Hope is not a plan right now. You have to have a plan to succeed, which is a lot like what I said with Norvell. They're 1-9 right now, Joe.
Yeah,
1-9. They are not a 1-9 talent team.
They will be on. I think the reason why they have had to just kind of, I don't know, maybe eat this, take the bullet, however you want to describe it, is because of that big contract that they just gave him. And so you got to absorb right now the L's and just say, hey, let's get this thing fixed. We're staying behind you. Go get your butt on the recruiting trail. The fact that Travell Jones is now decommitted may make the natives up on the reservation a little more restless because they're looking around going, what's happening to this class? Like we said, misery loves company, and they're okay with where they are as long as other teams around are dealing with the same type of stuff, which is Florida State and Florida.
Well, the problem is now you're banking on him hitting in the portal, which he just proved this year that look, the portal is the portal for a reason. The guys are in there for a reason. For 90% of them are in there because the other team doesn't want them.
Mm-hmm.
The other 10% are guys that are just looking for money. So I look, if you build through the portal, this is going to happen eventually. This right here will happen. You will have a season like this. Maybe not a 1-9 season, but you will have a step-back season. And now you're banking on Norvell to do it again because there's nothing behind them right now. Right? I mean, I kept saying this over and over, and apparently nobody would listen, but that team that lost 63-3,
yeah, that was
their team for this year,
yeah,
including the recruiting class, high school recruiting class, and whoever you got in the portal.
There was a bunch of big defectors there. Matching your recruiting efforts with your transfer portal. Let's make this the 10-10 take because, honestly, it is not an easy process.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
They got the recipes, and they got that oak on early, the fire, the flame, making sure they smoke that meat properly. Ribs, chicken, turkey, pork, you name it, brisket. It's all outstanding. Make sure you drop on by any one of your area Sonny's. The hybrid, and now we have had these composite rankings that come out where you're trying to find out who's doing well in the portal along with who's making sure that they keep recruiting. Well, we've seen Kirby Smart is even struggling a little bit with this, having those guys step in and be stars. And I'll give Lane Kiffin credit. I don't know how long it'll last, but he has been able to work the portal. He went and got some big-time studs out of the transfer portal, and he also has recruited well coming into Ole Miss. Now, that's in Oxford, Mississippi, which is not easy at all. And after the game, when you could hardly hear a word he was saying because of the massive hotty-toddy charge onto the field that was going on, he said they had been working ever since they lost to Georgia last year, got their butts beat and run on by, the tune of 300 yards, that he said we have got to be better recruiters and we've got to bring better players in here, transfer portal and recruiting. And that was Lane's main mission. I got to give him credit for that. That's the 10-10 take. I don't know whether he can duplicate that. I don't know whether he can be better at that somewhere else, but he did a good job with the Nolans of the world.
So let's analyze this, okay?
Yeah.
2020 is his first year. They won 5 games, and they were terrible the year before. 2021, they won 10 games. They went to the Sugar Bowl. Remember, they lost to Baylor, I believe. So they lost. 2022, they had a step-back season. And everybody was saying, now maybe I think they won 8 games. No, they lost like 4 of their last 5 games or 5 of their last 6. They finished with 8 wins. And then 23 rolls along, and he has a school record 11 wins. And now this season, here they are, primed to get into the playoffs. So he had a regression too. He definitely did. And he recruits typically from the portal because he's not going to get elite high school players to Ole Miss. He's just not. He might get like Suntarine Perkins to go, who was a 5-star kid. He might get an occasional 5-star kid to get there. He might get a few blue chips. He's not going to get the elite high school recruits. So he has to recruit there. Whereas if you're at Florida State and you're in the state of Florida, you have to be a guy that can recruit those blue chip guys.
Yeah.
You've got to get the high school players. You've got to recruit organically. You cannot depend on the portal. Now, that's what Billy Napier's trying to do. The problem is he's not recruiting well.
No.
And that's why they have a problem.
Yeah, that's why
I see a guy in the text line. Well, Michigan gave Jim Harbaugh time. You know what Jim Harbaugh's win totals were? First year, 10 wins, then 10 wins, then 9 wins, then 10 wins. What are you giving him a chance for? Yeah. Then 9 wins. Then the COVID season. Then 12, then 12, then 13.
Yeah, they were patient with him to beat their arch rival.
Ohio State, right.
Yeah, that's what they were patient with. They were winning. They were winning right from the jump. Because
he's not losing to Vandy when the quarterback throws the ball in the end zone on a Hail Mary play. Yeah. He's not losing to Kentucky either.
Yeah, both of these schools have struggled to land the big recruits in the state. Mario's done a good job of locking down a little more of South Florida of late, and we'll see where it goes.
Real quick on Lane in the high school recruiting front, I do agree with you, but yesterday he did get a 5-star wide receiver, one of the best in the nation, to flip from Alabama to Ole Miss. So he's doing something.
Right, and so, I guess my point is that
winning might change things over there.
Bringing him to Oxford and the brand of ball that he plays, because it was never easy.
He will get a handful of high school guys, no doubt, but he's not going to be able to organically build.
Like Mississippi per capita, there ain't enough players in the state.
Yes.
So he has had that challenge already. But then now you hybrid it up and you get the Walter Nolans of the world, some of those guys to come in. Yeah, you got something. That's for sure. Because they beat that butt the other night on both sides.
I'll tell you what, Thomas Castellanos just went in the portal, the Boston College quarterback.
Former UCF kid.
Yeah, good player, man. Good player. He and Bill O'Brien not getting along, apparently. That's a guy Florida State might go after. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, well, Castellanos is a quick kid.
Yeah, he's a run/thrower. I could see him fitting in really well in that offense.
So that means he would be UCF, Boston College, and FSU?
Yeah.
Another Technicolor dream coat for the Letterman's jacket.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
It is XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Tom McManus, and I give you a window into what it's like on the field wearing black and teal. Catch my stories and analysis thanks to renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010XL.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Yo, what's happening, fellas? It's your boy E to the T, and I'm going to keep it real. We could all benefit from a little something extra in the bedroom. Blue Chew can help, and I'm about to tell you how you can get some for free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. No doctor visits, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew ships right to your door in a discreet package. Not even them nosy neighbors gonna know what's going on. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strength for your prescription. And did I mention the chewable? Just like popping a Mentos. And they're made right here in the good old US of A. Now you're asking, how do I get my Blue Chew? Visit BlueChew.com and make sure to enter promo code 1010XL at checkout. Try it for free and just pay $5 shipping. Turn that oh no into a oh yeah. That's right. Use promo code 1010XL and let your boy hook you up with some Blue Chew. Get your confidence back. Visit BlueChew.com.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Are you nuts?
What? 641-1010.
That's crazy.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Huddle up this season at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Enjoy their famous wings, new cocktails, and happy hour deals at the perfect spot to catch all the football action. Escape the ordinary. HurricaneWings.com.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
This is David with Royal Pest Services. Join us Friday, November 15th from 12 to 2 with Helmets and Heels at Tony D's for our customer appreciation.
And there'll be free slices for you guys.
Tony, you've been down here long enough. It's y'all.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Remember your first great cigar?
Honestly, neither do we. But here's your chance to make a new memory with an extraordinary A.J. Fernandez cigar. Join us at Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road on November 16th from 1 to 4 p.m. for our A.J. Fernandez cigar event. Enjoy food, prizes, and incredible deals on A.J. Fernandez cigars. Come for the cigars, stay for the experience at Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Advanced Business Solutions. Last night, the Orlando Magic beat the Indiana Pacers to improve to 6-0 at home, winning 94-90. Franz Wagner again led the Magic with 29 points, with Jalen Suggs stepping up with 9.8 seconds left in the game and made both free throws. Magic's head coach Mosley spoke on his team's effort post-game.
I'm so proud of them, so proud of this group. It wasn't a pretty one. It's the way you have to try to get it done in this league, and these guys embraced it. Could have easily given in, but we talk about how much grit this team has, and you see how connected we are, and they fought through the shooting lulls at times, the turnovers early, and they found a way. And I think that's part of this league, and then part of growth of a group that understands you just find ways to win. We said it before the game. With this team, it's been 1 and 2 possessions, so every possession matters.
The Magic continue their homestand, hosting Philadelphia on Friday night. It's 83 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Here's a bold fact, brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
Definitely love the folks over there at Bold City, and they definitely have it cranking on Thursdays. You want to talk about something good, you can head on over to the production house on Roselle Street in Riverside. Beers, burgers, and bingo. You're talking $8 smash burger basket, and the first pint, the first beer is BOGO. Make sure you check it out, boldcitybrewery.com. They've got all sorts of things going on. That's for sure. Big Jaguar fans. So, the last time the Lions, they're big favorites Sunday against your Jacksonville Jaguars.
You just love your Honolulu blue, boy.
I love that Honolulu blue. I told Big Search yesterday, I said, we may see another team take themselves off the list of never making it to the Super Bowl. That's what they're looking like.
2, right?
I think there's 3 left. Yeah, I believe
the Browns, the Jags, and
Texans.
Texans.
Yeah, there
Texans
might
too, right?
Yeah, there might be one more, but those are the first 3 that popped to my. The Browns, yeah, Texans, Jags, Lions. I was thinking there was one more, but maybe not. I just kind of closest to the pin kind of a guess, and maybe a team just throw it at me. But the last time the Lions were a 13-point favorite or higher, just kind of closest to the pin with a year and a team. Just throw it at me. Because they are right now.
I'm going to say the team that beat Campo's team in the playoffs. So that would have been 91?
I think it was last year.
All right, you're going 91.
91 with Eric. What's his face at the quarterback? Eric, what was his name?
Eric Kresser.
No.
The great Eric Kresser. No, I could think.
I'm going to say
it was
92.
Was that Eric Kramer?
Kramer.
Yeah, Eric
92 or 91?
Kramer was 92.
Yeah, Eric Kramer was their quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 92. Well, then that's the year that's the year I'm thinking.
Okay.
But you said 91.
I'll say 91.
All right. And then Big Sirs, what you got?
92.
92. And you're going against, and they were against who? As a 13-point favorite. 13-point favorite or higher.
The team? Atlanta.
All right. JJ said last year.
I'll just say like the Panthers last year or something.
The last time the Lions were a 13-point or higher favorite was 1995. The month was December of 1995.
Jags?
It was against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, I wasn't here then.
That's how far back.
Leon
Leon
protected himself immediately. I wouldn't hear that, man.
Yeah. A year before you came here. 1995.
I had no part of that, man. I wasn't here.
In their inaugural season. So it screams both things. Right now, Detroit is pretty good.
Bro, that was so quick. You immediately said that. Like,
Hey, man,
the sentence wasn't even done.
I had to protect my rep.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But it says more than one thing. They're good right now because they're a 13-point favorite. But how long have they not been good for you to have to go that far back to find them as a 13-point favorite or higher? And it was December of 95. So this football team, it's 13 and a half. The obvious thing is with no Trevor and everything else that's gone on this football team, what can you expect? What will you get? Well, Detroit's high-powered. Okay, they come at you with both weapons in their backfield, a pair of them, star receivers, a big tight end who actually is dealing with a shoulder injury. But Jared Goff, 5 picks last week. What do they pick up? What is right? Ryan Nielsen did an okay job last week finding little opportunities to stress Sammy Darnold. Well, Jared Goff ain't the same cat, but how did they get to him?
This is a different beast.
Yeah.
It's even on Sunday. They will get bludgeoned. Because they can run the ball, the offensive line gets after it, and they can stop the run. They can get after you on their pass rush. I mean, that was an anomaly. Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions. The Jaguars expecting that. That's not going to happen again. I mean, they got to find other ways to put pressure on them, stop the run, and keep their big playmakers from making plays down the field because they got a litany of them. Wide receivers, tight ends. They use running backs. Hey, you know what? They use screens, too, which we obviously shocking. We don't know how they would effectively run one here in Jacksonville. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a tough task for the Jaguars. And you got Mac Jones back there at quarterback. You know, you got to find a way to protect him. You got to find a way to not make him win the game, which means you got to be multidimensional. You can't just pass the ball. You got to be able to effectively run the ball as well. So, it's going to get ugly.
I think the best way to say this is I think the Jaguars' defense is going to be in constant conflict the entire game.
And
run, throw game, whatever. They are going to be they're going to have problems.
All right, so the one thing I want everyone to pay attention to, and there's been more than one person stumping for this, but you guys know I'm rooting for a Johnson in Jacksonville. And if he is the guy that you want, then keep an eye on him because Ben Johnson, just watch the way the game is called, watch the way the game is played. And heck, he ain't the master of all things. He's not the greatest play caller out there, but the offense does look pretty good. And in large part, it's because they got a lot of good players. So it's not just the actual play, scheme, game plan. It's that and
they got dudes. Bro.
The dudes.
They got dudes.
They're cats versus these cats.
And they execute at a very high level, both sides of the ball. That's the difference between that team and our team.
So you guys don't think the Jag cover at all?
I'm sitting here trying to figure.
It's the biggest point spread in the NFL this season, by the way. And if you remember a couple years ago when Denver was I
was going to bring that one
unlucky enough to not have a quarterback at all, the point spread was only 17. So, this is not that much different.
Jacksonville.
I know they suck, but I would really never take a team to cover 14, I feel like.
Jacksonville covered in that game when they were a 17-point dog against Denver. And we were going.
No, I'm saying there was a game a couple years ago when Denver was. They had a wide receiver as a quarterback. My point is, a wide receiver as quarterback, not that dissimilar to Mac Jones as quarterback. In Vegas' eyes.
Yeah, you got to throw that funk on Mac Jones,
sucks.
man. Come on.
Well, he only had 111 yards. It wasn't pretty. They were able to go down the field and score, and then they weren't doing a whole heck of a lot after that. But you just have to look at the reality. There's a lot of things working against them. Missing Christian Kirk, not having enough targets for Brian Thomas, and really not a whole hell of a lot of time for Mac to make good decisions or good throws. The texter asked, Jacksonville was a 13-point dog back in 1995, and he said the question is, did they cover? Yeah. Lions won 44-0. 44-0 in that game.
It can't be that. It can't be that.
So,
it can easily be that.
So you want to? I say I wouldn't hear.
Yeah.
You want to go from a bold fact to a saucy? This Agent Gibbs handed this one off to me. This is incredible. The Jaguars have been underdogs of 13 points or more 18 times since 2010.
saucy nugs.
So that is less than it's basically a decade and a half. So they have been underdogs of 13 points or more 18 times since 2010.
That's like early 2000s Baylor football level.
Here's the comparison. And you can appreciate this, sirs. 18 times since 2010 for the Jags, 13 points or more. The Steelers have been underdogs of 13 points or more once in their franchise's history.
I can believe that.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Shad has got that thing parked here on the river because he knows 44-0's coming? And it's easy to get rid of him at that point?
I don't know. I would just like to
Or
think.
is it just Thanksgiving?
I would just like to think that Shad has come in and said, this ain't working. I'm going to get my legal pad out. I'm going to start doing some interviews. Okay? Come aboard.
That's actually a great observation from Matt, that he is in town this week knowing that he's going to fire
He knows the
Doug
ugly's
Peterson.
coming, man.
I didn't even think about that.
Think
but
about
that's as clear as day.
why is he so agitated of late, Dougie?
Yeah.
He knows he's gone.
Everyone said, would they, and this has been asked on the text line, will they can Doug after the game if it doesn't go well? Shad has been fairly clean in terms of not coming in and cleaning house, but he did leave Gus back in Houston, going back a handful of years when he relieved him of his duties, and then got Doug Marrone plugged in there, and then they let go of Doug at the end of the year, and Dave at the end of the year. He doesn't really have a pattern of exactly how he will fire people.
Right.
But I would just like for Shad, if he is pulling up and dropping anchor, to say, you know what, I'm looking around and I don't like anything that I'm seeing right now. I like what's happening over here. You see this thing over here? It's 4 seasons. You see that future stadium is going to be built? It's going to start as soon as this season's over with. You guys need to get real with your job and do something better than you're currently doing. And I would love for him just to get just a little angry with the product and say, you know what, cleaning house, starting from scratch.
I like that too. I think 35-0 or something of that resort. Yeah, I think Doug's gone.
What? So what? When he's at the game, okay? When he's there at the game watching them lose 44-0, okay? Why doesn't he like just go get Brad Holmes and say, "Can I talk to you for like 10 minutes?" And just Lions GM, Brad Holmes. Say, can I talk to you for 10 minutes? And then have Brad Holmes say, "Your problem is you guys can't draft to save your life." And then at that point you say, "All right, what we're doing is wrong." Personnel-wise. So it's not only just Dougie, it's the guy leading your personnel department too, which would be Balky.
Yeah.
So they both go on the next Monday, not just one of them.
No, that's what I said. I would love to see a clean house situation. We have seen a few offensive coordinators get canned. We've seen head coaches get canned, a couple of them in Saleh and Dennis Allen. And so it is getting closer and closer to that time. If you are going to make a decision, you're going to go ahead and say, boom, you're out. And then they get to start the process of looking around. But this question's been asked by all of Duval at one time or another. Who are Shad's football people? Who does he trust? Who does he go talk to find out who that next great guy is? He's had this team since 2012, and he's not necessarily made a whole hell of a lot of great hires. He really hasn't. And when he hired Herb, he said, I got it right this time. Well, it wasn't. And so he promoted Doug Marrone and kept him. He hired Dave Caldwell when he was never a GM before because he was thinking he was coming out of a pretty hot franchise up in Atlanta. We all know it didn't work, and he kept him way too long. And so then somehow, some way, Trent Baalke is allowed access into the building under Dave Caldwell back in 2019 and then emerges as the guy that's now going to run the franchise and then tells Shad that this is the best roster this team has ever had. Not just when you owned it, Shad, but the history of this franchise, this is the best roster, which is just a bunch of crap. And so now you have a bad roster, and now you look like you got a salty Doug Peterson that isn't quite vibing offensively with his quarterback the way he should.
So your question is, who is Shad's guy that he talks to about football? My response is he's owned the team since 2012. Yeah. At the very least, he watches the games.
Well, yeah.
At the very least, you got to watch the game and say, that guy can't play. And that guy that I just paid $38 million for, he can't play either.
Yeah, it's got to drive him crazy.
Right?
I would hope.
And that guy over there that we just signed to an extension, he can't play either. Mm-hmm. Right? So, I mean, I look, it's like he knows football. He's had it long enough now to at least understand the game, right? watch the game to be able to say what works and what doesn't work. I don't know that you need a football guy. My team sucks. I give them however much money they want, more than 90% of the league. I give them what they want, and they still don't win.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying that because it should be obvious to him. This is when Moto takes over. Master of the obvious. It is bad. But what I'm saying is someone that says, you know what, Shad? I have talked to enough people, and this guy is the guy you need to be talking to take over your football team.
Yeah, after the firings. Yes,
no. He can figure that part out. Right. God, I hope he can figure that part out. I'm talking about.
Because if he can't,
yeah,
there's a much bigger problem.
Yeah, we're in real big trouble. No, I'm talking about that guy that he goes to that says, who are the best people in the National Football League? Hayes, Carline, when he comes in with us, he's mentioned one of the disciples of Brad Holmes, Ray Agnew. Well, it just so happens Agnew and Holmes come under the Les Snead tree. Well, Shad knows a hell of a lot about Les Snead because he wanted to buy the St. Louis Rams before he was able to buy the Jags. Right. And Les Snead was running it then in St. Louis and running it now out in L.A. and has been uber successful. So that's the guy he needs to be looking at and saying, I want to find that guy and bring him in to mold this franchise into a winner.
But there's any number of guys he could talk. He could talk to Pioli. Pioli's been around the Patriots and the Chiefs. There's any number of guys you can talk to and say, I don't what does good look like?
Right. I don't know who he is talking to. I would just love to know that he is talking to somebody that says, you know what, I have not done a good job
How about Belichick? What does good look like?
Yeah, I'm sure he has. But Belly wants back in.
No, I know he does. He does, and I get it. But that doesn't Belly will tell him what good looks like, won't he?
Well, Belly might tell him he wants back in.
No, I know that.
And he might be enamored with that idea, is my point.
I know, but my point is Belly could say, here's what it should look like. It doesn't mean he has to hire him.
Yeah, but Belly's looked bad the last, half a decade?
Well, yeah, it didn't go well post-Tom.
Yeah. No post-Tom.
Yeah. So.
Not sure I'm going to ask Belly.
He clearly knows what he's doing, though.
Yeah, we reckon.
He did.
But he did.
I would trust him over Balky, I can tell you that.
Oh, well, yeah.
Two of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah,
it's a toss-up for me.
Yeah.
So now you're going to say Belly would be
a horse race, man. Are you kidding me?
Now you're going to say Belly would be the GM instead of the
No.
HC? Yeah.
No, all I'm saying is, hey, Bill, I'm going to buy you dinner tonight. Can we talk football?
Yeah,
and then Belly might think, I'm going to get this job, but you're at least picking his brain.
Yeah.
And then, down the road, you just say, it's not going to work, Bill. But you got a chance to pick his brain for 3 hours.
Yeah, they say the people that are close to them say they have a good relationship. So I don't know whether they've already done that or not. But at least it's been talked about that Belichick has shared some of his views and ideas to Shad. We'll find out. But no question about it. He needs to dispatch the guys that are in charge of Duval right now and go find some new ones. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Gotta go to work, guys. Gotta go to work. We gotta go to work.
It was the point where they shifted into high gear.
Go.
It's the Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game.
This feel good. That feel good.
On 1010XL.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, a local company. And, I was talking to my buddy Mark, who's one of the guys, he heads up the roofing division, about this football team. And he said, you know what, I'm on bended knee. I'm just praying. Take it up to Motown and at least look the part. He hurts just like the rest of you Jaguar fans out there. Well, you can find good, diehard folks working with the Preferred Group. PreferredRoofingJacks.com. You can log on and check out everything that makes brand new homes. Don't forget, get local and check out PreferredBuildersJacks.com.
Did you know you can charge the all-new Honda Electric Prologue in the same receptacle as your phone? You don't need these special charging stations at your home. Simply plug in your Honda or your phone. See your local Honda dealer now. We're electrified.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Join the VIP membership program at DuckDuckRooter and enjoy peace of mind knowing your plumbing, heating, and cooling systems are performing at their best. Don't miss out. Call 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
When you're injured, you probably have more questions than answers, and all you really want is to feel better. This is Joe C., and I certainly can identify. Well, thanks to Rebound Rehab, I bounced back from a serious case of ankle tendonitis to feel pain-free. And they can do the same for you. 8 locations across the First Coast and a team of physical therapists ready to help. From laser and radio pressure wave therapy to aquatic and massage therapy, they can offer real solutions to help you rebound. Log on, reboundrehab.com, and start your path back to pain-free life.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T here, and come watch the Florida LSU game with me at Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island. Kickoff is at 3:30. Late night happy hour is from 8 to close. See you Saturday at Barley and Pie in Fleming Island.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians, ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
You've got a circle of friends, right? Well, how about a circle of beer? All your favorites like Bud Light, Bud Heavy, Mick Ultra, or Natty Light. It's all there in the cold case at Circle K. Probably one right around the corner right now calling your name. Slide on in to a Circle K.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all-you-can-eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Sports fans, JJ LaSelva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Hume Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Hume Flowers.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
1010XL is presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
24 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour, hanging out. Beautiful Thursday, XL Primetime. Sliding up, and the Franchi Show slides up as well. They will be on 2 to 4 this afternoon. Then Jaguars programming with the Doug Peterson Show coming up a little bit later on. Definitely batting around a lot of different things in the National Football League and the college football world. We'll try and sneak it back to college ball coming up here in just a second. I don't know that we specifically zeroed in on one team beyond Tennessee and Georgia that you might call kind of a de facto play-in game this week, or the team that might be the most vulnerable. So we'll hit on that coming up in just a moment. But tonight's game, Thursday Night Football, we got another good one. And I'm looking at the line, and last week we were treated to that Ravens-Bengals game where it came down to that 2-point conversion, and Cincinnati decided to go for it. You got Commanders-Eagles tonight. Who you like in this ball game? The Eagles just beat up on Dallas. Washington just lost to Pittsburgh. That was a close game. Russell Wilson, taking it on the road after the bye week, was able to beat Washington. Who you like in this game tonight?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm partial to Jaden Daniels, the kind of season that he's having so far.
Mm-hmm.
But the Eagles look good against the Cowboys. And the Cowboys are, they're like a layup team now.
They are.
They are a layup team.
They're a layup team now.
But I kind of.
It's a big game, man.
It's a huge game. And you're talking about a Commanders team that can take control with a win of the NFC East.
What a story they are, by the way.
They're a great story right now. It never lasts.
And Quinn is such a good dude, man.
He's done well, but look,
all the way back when he was a DC at Florida, just such a good dude.
He's a good coach, but I also remember him coordinating that defense last year for Dallas, and it sucked.
I know.
And then he goes, and all of a sudden,
we all can't be great every time, Joe.
I know, it's crazy because he just comes in. This is his second go around, and you're like, it'll be a work in progress type of feeling. And they, right out of the gate, were hot. Him and Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, all the other guys that they've got, they're a good bunch. Anyway, I like Washington tonight, too.
Yeah, I think I may be leaning a little bit to Washington, but the Eagles look good against the Cowboys, both sides of the ball. They got, Saquon Barkley, those are POs. That defense is playing well.
He's so fun to watch.
And it's hard to evaluate them because, they almost gave us the game a couple of weeks ago, and then they go in there and they beat up the Cowboys. So, which team is it? I
They've won 5 in a row.
They have won 5 in a row, yes.
I think the Commanders are a little desperate right now, actually.
Well,
what's
crazy?
And this is one of those NFL games, by the way, where the Eagles coming off a big win on the road, you feel like they won 5 in a row, right, JJ?
Yeah. And remember all the heat on Sirianni.
Yeah.
Locally, those people wanted to kill that guy early in the season. Now I don't know if it's as bad. I would hope not after winning 5 in a row. But
and you also
right
have to look at who they've beaten the 5 in a row. You ready for this?
Yeah, who have they beaten?
Who have they beaten? You ready for this? Browns at home, Giants on the road, Bengals on the road, Jags at home, Cowboys on the road.
Well, you know what I'm predicting?
Bengals is a good win. Bengals is a good win.
Yeah, that's about 4 layups.
Yeah. What I'm predicting is another Nick Sirianni City of Brotherly Love meltdown. They're gonna be on him after tonight. I just got that feeling.
Me too.
Yeah.
You are getting 4 points.
Yeah, and I'm taking them.
I think it started a little lower, so the money has been on Philly.
Yeah. For them
4
to,
points.
it went 3.5 to 4. So you're right. But I just feel like it's coming again. Everything's just too glossy up there in Eagle Land right now. So we'll find out, maybe dead wrong, because they have won. They look pretty good. That was a close game against Dallas for a while. It was a 7-6 game, and then they obviously took care of business in the second half.
So what team is – I think the Lions are the perennial favorites to win the AFC. What team do you like to knock them out? That'd be their toughest challenge. Do you think the Commanders? Do you think the Eagles?
San Francisco.
Whoever comes out. I
still think the Niners.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the Niners. I'm not. I'm going to say whoever comes out of that NFC East right now.
Yeah.
I just think the Niners.
You done with the Niners?
Well, they're not done. They have more injuries, and just getting Christian McCaffrey back was a huge bonus. and the injuries also hurt Brock Purdy a little bit. You could kind of figure him out and put him in some stressful situations. He made some bad decisions. But getting McCaffrey back, having Kittle this past week was also obviously a big boost. But no Ayuk, okay, he's gone. And Debo, did you see what Debo did? Taking swings at his kicker, okay, on the sideline.
I thought it was the snapper.
Well, the long snapper was standing up for the kicker. The kicker missed like 3 kicks. He came to the sideline. He said something to the kicker, and the long snapper like stood up for the kicker, and then he got slapped.
Yeah, and so Shanahan,
and then he sat down, and that was it. Right.
Shanahan's like, they'll work it out, and they probably will. There's nothing wrong with that. You can get fiery.
That was a choke sandwich. He did choke him out.
And it's probably pretty easy to replace a long snapper.
Right. What's the long snapper? I mean, sit down, man. Right?
He's people too, man.
He is.
I know he is, but I mean, come on.
Well,
know your role exactly, dude.
We all have roles.
Like, listen, if you miss 3 kicks and you're the kicker, you should be ready for your teammates to be on you.
That's true.
Right, but you can't imagine a defensive player. Let's use Jared Goff as an example. He threw 5 picks. That means 5 big mistakes. A defensive guy walking up to him going, get your head out of your
I bet there are.
Well,
not in that situation where the Lions have won all these games.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think you guys
if
might be
you're
wrong.
like Dak Prescott or something, you've been terrible all year, or like I wouldn't be shocked by a defensive player going over there.
And
And
heck,
like, what the hell?
Yeah, they didn't even do that to Dak. Dak was on the sidelines, heard saying, "Man, we suck."
Yeah, I was just using him as an example of somebody who hasn't been great.
Yeah, but it's just every once in a while you got to let go, and unfortunately that kicker battery, long snapper, holder, and kicker, they're all viewed as
Holy
separate from the
Trinity.
team anyway.
Yeah.
And
I mean, think about Debo. Like, he's going over the middle and just getting blown up by linebackers and safeties.
Yeah.
And he gets off the field after like an 8-play drive where he's like dying, and the guy misses a 40-something yard field goal. What do you think he's going to do?
Hey, Scobie right now is listening, going, "What is your point?"
I get it.
What
I
is
get
your
it.
point?
I bet Scobie's with me on that
And
too.
Hollis,
Like,
the
you can't
same
do
thing.
that, man.
What do you say when you see Mike Hollis?
Big pun. I call him Big pun.
Yeah, exactly.
The Iceman.
And that's family. The other one that got me that we didn't, it was just such a great piece of video. Baker Mayfield is running and stiff arms somebody while completing a pass. Now that's impressive. That he could. That guy is a baller, but he is running, stiff arming a Frisco defender.
That's the Heisman pose.
That's
bro.
kind of my, like.
There's a Heisman on him.
That's what I'm saying, that those guys are out there doing that. So 1 kick miss, you're like, all right. 2, you're like, what in the world is going on? But if you hit 3, you better believe you're going to get choked.
slapped.
Man. You are going to get choked. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So it means if he drops 3 passes, he should get choked.
Bro, dropping a pass and missing a field, you're talking about points.
Yeah.
Now, dropping a pass in the end zone could be a touchdown or drop. You're right, it could be. There's no doubt it could be.
Let me tell you something. It would be highly entertaining if we just had some real open hand slap fest on the sidelines. Every time somebody messed up, the other team would get to do that. That would be
Brought
on
to
the
you by
other,
Dana
other side
White.
of the ball. Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a lot more like bickering than you guys think on the NFL sidelines.
Leon knows in the locker room. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But you got to keep some class on the sidelines.
Yeah, man.
Do you?
Yes. My answer is yes.
Some decorum.
Yeah. Is that you got to kind of hold it together.
Well, apparently you don't in San Francisco.
I mean, if you don't, it's going to be anarchy, bro. We're not barbarians, bro.
Yeah. Exactly. And you got to operate as a team. Otherwise, it will just come unraveled. Anyway, the whole point is I think there's a team out of the NFC East that may present a bigger problem. And the Packers still have a chance, obviously, to be a problem and a challenge to the Detroit Lions inside.
Yeah, I'd agree with
that. The last time these two teams faced off against one another, Detroit had their day, but that also was just with Malik Willis having to come in the week before for Jordan Love. Jordan Love wasn't 100%. So anyway, those teams I think have as much of a chance as San Francisco. I'm not going to say San Francisco.
If Jordan Love is
way
healthy,
up here.
yeah, I think the Packers can beat anybody in the NFC if Jordan Love's healthy.
Yeah. And the way, honestly, the way the Commanders have gone about their business, and if I'm wrong about Sirianni, what Saquon and Jalen Hurts are doing offensively, they're going to get Devonta and A.J. Brown back tonight, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model car of your dreams at a fraction of the original sticker price. For the very best in low mileage cars in Jacksonville, visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom. All luxury cars are serviced and inspected, many with a certified warranty. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Barley and Pie Brewing Company is Fleming Island's first and only craft brewery, founded by the co-founder and brewmaster of Wicked Barley. Barley and Pie serves up local brews made right in your backyard. Hungry? Dive into their sourdough Neapolitan pizza, made fresh in-house every day. Find your new go-to spot in Fleming Island at Barley and Pie Brewing Company.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 14, 1964, NHL hockey legend Gordie Howe sets NHL record, becoming the all-time leading goal scorer with his 627th career goal.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
Hey, gang, Prosser here to save you some cash. Maximize your home sale now with the market experts who deliver more money in less time, and those experts are Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. You don't have to worry. The worries are relieved with Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts we are trusting and recommending with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mortgage rates are down. It's time to create your market. Marvin in Cobblestone writes, my siblings and I moved our parents to Maryland so they can get some extra help as they get older. Next, we had to sell the home to get them some financial help for their extra care. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they delivered big. Chad and Sandy's team got our home sold in 7 days above asking price. You can too. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barr here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barr Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit barrorthopedics.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Jaguars fans, want to meet some of your favorite players? Coke Florida, Publix Supermarkets, and the Jags are giving you the chance. Join 1010XL at Publix, 170 Village Commons Drive, St. Augustine, Tuesday, November 19th at 5. For autographs, pictures, raffles, and more. Get off the sidelines and get to Publix to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola, Coke Zero Sugar, or any of your favorite Coca-Cola beverages using Publix digital app. The Jaguars and Coke Florida. There's magic when we cheer together at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Are the company's Zoom calls getting boring? Might be a good time to order some new logo caps or temporary tattoos. Check them out online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson on Sunday's matchup against the Lions offense.
It's a big play offense, right? It's opportunities to push the ball down the field, play action pass. That's something that Goff has been good at, even when he was in LA. I think that's something that the movement game. But again, it all kind of stems off their run. I think it starts there. You look at the tape last week. Houston did a pretty good job of stopping the run a little bit. They were able to disrupt Jared, and get him off his spot. I think those are all key things that you got to be able to do. And this offense is opportunistic.
Doug Peterson, courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, well, my takeaway is my second favorite college football team is Georgia Bulldogs.
The boogeyman.
Yeah. Because Kirby reminds me a lot of Jimmy Johnson. And I'm saying to myself, and I asked Matt, hey, could Georgia lose this Saturday to Tennessee?
I want to kick their ass.
Thank you, Jimmy. Could they lose to Tennessee and be out of the playoffs? A little alarming, but there's an omen behind this. All right, at the beginning of the season, the SEC conference, they had Kirby Smart on, and he said something to me that was very alarming. He said that with the new 12-team playoff, you've got teachable losses. Now, I've never heard that from Kirby. And all the times I've been watching, he's never said you can learn from a loss. I think that might have diluted him a little bit this season because they one game away from probably being out of it.
You're trying to pull me over to that, aren't you? You are trying to get me there to where Tennessee's going to win this game.
I've never seen them get beat up like that before.
I'll tell you something else, too. So last week before the Ole Miss game, there was a guy on X. He was walking outside the Georgia practice facility, which has got all the the green mesh up so you can't see in, and it's got walls you can't see in.
Mm-hmm.
But in the other side, you're walking the other side in the sidewalk, and you could hear Kirby just getting after him. Let's just put it that way. There are a lot of four-letter words going on. Okay, a lot of combination four-letter words, if you know what I mean.
I do love the combos
with ERs on the end of them. Okay,
yeah.
So and now I'm starting to think, all right. He was on them in that game, and they lost by 18. What do you do now? Like, you've already gone to that point now. Now how do you respond? How do you respond the following week after you lost by 18? You double down and try and go even harder? I think he's got this is a big moment for that program right now, this game now. I'm still not there yet, Leon. You're trying to get me there. I'm still believing in the boogeyman one more time, but this is a big, big moment for them.
Yeah, and he only has, at the very least, it seems like, one way to do it. In other words, he doesn't have that.
There's no modulator, Joe.
No, there's no governor. And I know there has to be times where he puts his arm around a guy and does it differently. I'm not going to say he doesn't because Kirby's been an unbelievable success.
A phenomenal coach, yes.
It's like we said, coming out of this game, he was 30-3. 30-3 in ball games on the road. And he's lost very few football games in his entire time up in Athens. And so, yeah, this will be one. He'll go into his pantry of plans. What haven't I done? What haven't I cooked up? What haven't I used?
That pantry might be empty, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this, real quick before you get to yours, the thing is this has always been Kirby's. I talk to other coaches, and they all say the biggest worry with Kirby isn't that he'll get bored or he'll want to go to the NFL. It's that he'll burn out. He's so hard. Every week, he's so hard, week after week after week. In the offseason, too. He just grinds and grinds and grinds. That he's just going to burn out. It's going to be one of those Dick Vermeil type things that it's just at some point it's going to be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah. One of our texters said, homeboy, referring to Kirby, homeboy let Aiden Warner hang around for 55 minutes. OVR. No time for the E. OVR. And look, I don't believe it because I do think that he still has it in him, but I gave you the numbers earlier. I'll just go ahead and add this to y'all's discussion as the takeaway is that they are 83rd on third downs and 93rd in stopping them. Tennessee.
93rd.
Yeah. Tennessee is top 10 in both of those categories. And there's no Nico. At least right now there's no Nico.
That's more, baby.
And that is an equalizer in this game. And Kirby's already the equalizer in this game because he will whip those dogs into a frenzy between the hedges.
I already told you the long play story, man. They've given up 13 plays of 30-plus yards already this year.
Yeah,
they gave up 16 all of last year.
It's just a lot. And then the other 2+ turnovers in 5 of their last 6 games. That's just stuff you don't hear.
12 interceptions in the last 6 games.
Coming off of a Bulldog stat sheet.
Yeah.
And
Which we've all known, like the Kirby offense, sorry to cut you off, Joe, but it's always been like, it's never high-powered, high-flying, Burrow stuff. It's, hey, Stetson Bennett's in there. He's going to take control of the game. He's not going to turn the ball over, and we're going to score like 28, 30 points, and we're going to win. Like, you can't have Stetson Bennett throwing 3 picks. That throws everything.
Right. Yeah. That eliminates the ability to choke someone out when your guy's turning it over constantly.
And the thing was, it was 11 picks in 5 games, then now 12 picks in 6 games. And you go back to what he had done last year, and it was such a stark contrast in terms he did not give the ball away, did not make mistakes like that. Now, here's the other obvious part of this. He had a run game last year that he could count on.
Yeah.
He had receivers. Ladd and Brock, you ever heard of them?
Yeah.
They're starring right
first
now.
rounders, yeah.
Yeah, they're starring in L.A. and Vegas. And so that it's crazy. I threw the stat out to you guys last week. Heading into the Gator game last year, he had just 4 picks and 12 touchdowns. Okay, finished with a couple of touchdowns and no picks versus Florida. 12 more touchdowns and only 2 picks down the stretch.
Yeah, that's what
that
they
was
typically
clean
do.
Ball.
They get hot in the second half, right?
Yeah.
Now, and they're not hot right now. They're playing as bad as they played all year.
This year, 7 touchdowns, 0 picks in the first 3 games, and then from Alabama on, and this is not including this last week. Did they score on the ground or through the air? Can you remember that first touchdown
against
Georgia?
Miss?
Yeah,
that was through. No, that was a run.
It was a run?
It was a run, I believe.
Okay, so
around the right end. It might have been like a quick pass, but I think it was a run.
Yeah, Nate Frazier scored a touchdown.
Okay, so from Alabama on, he's thrown 10 touchdowns and 12 picks.
So now let me throw this at you, okay? Because we began this show by saying, who loses? Who's the next upset?
Yeah. We'll carry that over to tomorrow.
So Carson Beck played poorly against Texas, too.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas looked scared against Georgia. Scared. So what is Texas right now? At some point, don't we have to look at Texas and say, it may not be what everybody thinks they are?
Especially, by the way, how do you have everything going your way at night in that and create that environment?
The look on yours and Manning's face when they were sitting there on the sideline was like, I'm not going back in. Well, I'm not going back in either.
Yeah. I don't want any of that. Then they couldn't do anything. Georgia's 4 of their 5 scores came from the short side of the field because they forced all those turnovers. Right. And then Texas just mollywops Florida, and Florida was just in a game with Georgia. So it's so hard to figure out exactly who's who, wins when. And they may have figured it out after that loss. They may have learned something from a loss,
Hogs
Leon,
are getting them,
like
man.
you were talking about.
I'm telling you right now, Hogs are getting them this weekend.
But, yeah,
Hogs are getting Texas, man.
In Arkansas, you know where they're going? They're going to Vietnam, okay, because that's what it is. They don't want to go to Fayetteville. It goes from Fayetteville to Fayetteville
there, bro.
when Longhorns.
Fayetteville is a beautiful area.
Yeah,
But you're right. It's a tough place to play.
Yeah, that's what they call it, Fayetteville, when they go up there. And the last time they went up there, they were under siege.
They lost by 20, I think, right?
Yeah, and they were a ranked team at that point.
Or something.
Have you guys seen the crazy stat? I know Matt retweeted it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
If all of the favorites win from here on out in the SEC, so not anything crazy happening, just if all the favorites, if chalk goes all the way the rest of these last 3 weeks,
right?
Guess who is in the in the SEC final?
Well, there's one more thing too. Like Missouri has to beat somebody, which is not a big deal, whatever it was.
Right. But
it's something else, right?
Is it Texas and Texas A&M, or is
it's
it
the
LSU?
winner? It's the winner of Texas A&M versus LSU.
That's wild.
Who people are like not even talking about LSU even still being in the SEC.
Yeah, wait till Florida wears them out, and then it'll all be done.
That's true. If every SEC favorite wins the next 3 weeks, and
playing hard for Billy,
and Arkansas beats Missouri, that's what it is.
Okay.
Which they would. I mean, Missouri's terrible right now.
Then the SEC championship game will be LSU against the winner of the Texas A&M game.
Yeah.
How weird is it that Arkansas-Missouri game has any bearing? I guess it's because of like tiebreakers, maybe.
That's what they would be going to, all that head-to-head and strength of
win
schedule
percentage.
and opponent's record and all kinds of
Florida's getting them this
craziness.
week, aren't they, Joe?
They're what?
Florida's getting LSU this week.
I don't think so. Methinks not.
It's only a 4-point spread.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if Lagway plays, I think they're going to win the game,
Which
actually.
is a little small, which it's not impossible. Brian Kelly also may be losing a little grip on his football team right now.
He's still got a chance, though.
Yeah.
A chance to be in the playoffs still.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he might be losing a little grip because they haven't been able to figure out how to run the ball. They didn't protect Nussmeier nearly as much. Nussmeier drove it right down the field and then threw it to the Bama defender one too many times. And those Milroe runs, that if DJ Lagway is healthy and decides to take off and run, and he can do to that defense that the same way that Jason Milroe ran all over him, maybe. All right, here's the embedded and shredded one right now.
Now, the 2-minute drill brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
The embedded messed me up. I called him Jason Milroe. Where am I coming from with that one, huh? Jalen Milroe.
Mm-hmm. Good player. Did you guys see Dane Brugler has him like 22nd on his overall prospects? He put out his top 50.
Yeah.
And Cam Ward was 16th, highest quarterback on the board. But Milroe was 22nd. And then it was Nussmeier 23 and no Carson Beck in the top 50.
Shador.
22nd, I think.
Wow.
It was like Nussmeier and Shador were like back to back. So I think it was Cam, then Shador, then Nussmeier. And Milroe was in there.
Who will Dallas draft when Dion's their head coach among those?
Would that would just be phenomenal if that happens. I mean, it would just be phenomenal.
Hey.
If you're Roger Goodell, you're like, Jerry, I know this isn't going to work,
yeah,
but man, it'd be a lot of fun. We will give you, I mean, they always get their 5 primetime games anyway, but it would be like, we will guarantee week 1, Sunday Night Football in Jerry's world if you give us Dion.
So how did you become an NFL? Well, I'm a Pro Football Hall of Famer. I coached at Jackson State a couple years. I went and coached in the Power Four just to kind of check it out, and now I'm the coach of the Cowboys.
It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. I don't think there's much of a chance, but I'd love to see it. Yeah, we got a great Frangie show coming up. Greg McGarity is going to join us from the Gator Bowl, not just to break down the potential matchup they may have, but it's always fun to get his expertise on a variety of collegiate issues. So whether it's, should you fire your coach, what would a search look like, NIL and revenue distribution. Now that's become a big topic. So yeah, lots of college football coming up with Greg McGarity, and we'll also break down Jags Lions and talk Gators, Knowles, Dogs, Canes, all that coming up on the Frangie Show.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. The last time the Lions were that big of a favorite, 13 points.
I heard that coming in. That's great. I didn't know I wouldn't have guessed. I was more in line with you guys, but yeah, 44-0. That was a fine effort. Fine effort.
Oh, all right, man.
I don't think it'll be that, but I would not take the Jaguars in 14. I would take the Lions and give those points.
Something else. December of 95, the last time the Lions were that big of a favorite, and it was against the Jags.
Let me just tell you this before we go. I just stumbled onto this website.
Yeah.
Peter Burns gave me this website.
On what website?
Just a website.
Right.
It calculates every SEC scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So you literally just pick who wins the next games over the next 3 weeks, hit calculate, and it tells you who's going to play in the game. We're going to get into this tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We definitely are.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Because there's a lot of craziness. If you have to go to a coin flip to find out who's going to represent the SEC, it just means more.
A tug of war.
That will be unacceptable if that's what they have to go to. All right, we are done. We had a great time today. Don't forget, you can enjoy your weekend with a cold Corona. Pick one up. Enjoy it. Put a lime in it, or don't. Do whatever you want. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Sur.